All right. A little bit more new equipment today. Trying it out. Camera's been a little glitchy. I don't know if it's the software or the cord on my webcam has acted a little funny with my old computer. I just got a new one. So, fiddle in with things, but this new computer shouldn't have the loud fan that was in the last video. Taking some, putting some resources towards investing in myself and my business. The orientation I find myself continuing to come back to is just what happens when I don't need to go anywhere, and I also don't need to stop myself from going anywhere. I wonder about that sort of thing, triggering reactions in people, because I know to get here, I've had to move through a lot of my own reactivity. Just on a practical level, for me to be well, I need my baseline to be one of just being able to rest in quiet, vivid aliveness. Could say that's the place where one is completely uncontrived. There's some analytic wheels moving. Having said that, some need to try to explain myself, which feels like a protective measure against being against being misunderstood is kind of what I want to say, but it's not even that. It's like it's got to be clear that thinking about someone is different from connecting with someone. It isn't the connection, but it points to it, perhaps. Camera glitch. Don't know if this camera, the computer, the cord. What happens when I don't need to go anywhere and I also don't need to stop myself from going anywhere? Nothing needs to change, nothing needs to stay the same. I might need to invest in a new cord, but I don't know if that's the problem. I'm gonna have to try recording in a different program and see if that changes things. One mantra I come back to, it seems helpful. Not something I drill into my head, but it's a nice reminder here and there. It's just the problems are not a problem. And what do I mean by that? Doesn't mean I dismiss problems that show up, but I don't add the weight of judgment to them, the clenching. And I don't make the clenching a problem either. Again, a lot of this is hard to describe. But things that could be conceptualized as problems are just part of life. They're just as vivid and beautiful as everything else. It's like I'm already like relating to chronic illness. It's like I'm already sick. Why would I add a sense of dis-ease on top of that? Why is my pain anything else except part of the recipe for a full life? Even when there's some of those periods where life's just really hard, confusing, painful. But even what could be considered dull becomes vivid when you stop making it wrong. Curious about how this camera setup's working. Software, camera, cord. I'm going to leave this in. All of it, warts and all. Why would any of it be a problem? Why would any of the imperfections be imperfections? What happens if you let go of the concept of perfect or imperfect? Problem, not a problem. What happens when you let go of letting go? What happens when you stop trying to relax? That relaxes things in and of itself, doesn't it? If you want to find unconditional love, you have to stop putting conditions under which you think you'd discover it. If it's unconditional, it's not dependent on a particular feeling state, or belief, or level of practice, or insight. It's always already here. And if you find your brain arguing with that, okay. That's part of it too. It's not conditional on absence of those things. These are just some of my reflections. I'm just a fallible human as much as anybody else who feels compelled to talk sometimes. And I still have the notion that sharing it might be valuable. Even if I'm completely wrong, it might point you towards what's right. Like I said in my last video, may I be wrong in the direction of truth, in the service of truth. And may I figure out the proper setup for recording so my videos come through as clearly as possible. Talk soon.